Hello, I'm Erik Christensen from the NLS Norway Relocation Group, and I want to welcome you to this advanced strategic briefing. This session is designed specifically for HR directors, global mobility managers, and the board members who recruit transformational leadership for the Norwegian market. Today we must dismantle one of the most frustrating and financially devastating operational roadblocks that your top-tier international executive will face upon arrival. We call this the consensus paralysis. When a multinational corporation headhunts a superstar CEO, VP, or regional director from a hyper-agile market like the United States, the UK, or Singapore, they are paying a massive premium for decisiveness. You hire them to cut through red tape, pivot strategies rapidly, and execute global mandates with ruthless efficiency. In their home markets, these executives operate on a strict top-down authority model. The leader assesses the data, makes a unilateral decision, issues the directive, and the team immediately executes. However, I'm here to warn you that if your incoming foreign executive attempts to deploy this hero leader decision-making model in an Oslo or Bergen boardroom, they will not drive rapid change. Instead, they will instantly trigger an organizational immune response, resulting in severe project delays, union intervention, and completely operational paralysis. To understand this catastrophic failure, we must decode the bedrock of Norwegian corporate mechanics, Forankring. Forankring, this word literally translates to anchoring. In the Norwegian business ecosystem, a decision is not valid simply because the boss made it. A decision is only valid if it has been thoroughly socialized, debated, and accepted by the people who have to execute it. So in Anglo-American corporate cultures, consensus is often viewed as a weakness, a sign of a leader who lacks conviction, or a bureaucratic time waster. In Norway, consensus is the ultimate risk mitigation strategy and a foundational requirement for execution. The first major crisis occurs during the executive's first major strategic pivot. The foreign manager identifies a massive inefficiency, calls a formal team meeting, and announces a new departmental restructuring, expecting immediate compliance. Instead of enthusiastic action, the announcement is met with defensive silence, followed by polite but firm request for a drøftelsesmøte or formal discussion meeting. The foreign executive is immediately frustrated, perceiving the Norwegian team as slow, uncooperative, or lacking agility. What the executive completely fails to understand is that in Norway, the implementation phase is fast, but the decision-making phase is intentionally slow. If you skip this Forankring phase, the team will passively resist the directive, citing a lack of inclusion and a breach of tillit or trust. This brings us to the second hidden trap, the location of the real boardroom. Foreign executives assume that strategic alignment happens in formal scheduled meetings with slide decks and hard agendas. In Norway, formal meetings are merely the final stage where pre-agreed decisions are officially rubber-stamped. The actual alignment, the critical forankring, happens informally. It happens during the kaffeprat or casual coffee machine chats, over a quick lunch in the cantina, or during a brief walk between offices. Because the foreign executive is often laser-focused on their spreadsheets and formal global KPIs, they completely bypass this informal socialization network. They walk into the formal meeting expecting to persuade the room, completely unaware that the room expects the decision to have already been negotiated over coffee 3 days prior. When the frustrated executive attempts to bypass this inefficient consensus culture and forces the decision through sheer positional authority, they trigger the legal tripwires of the Norwegian Working Environment Act, or Arbeidsmiljøloven. Norway has a deeply entrenched system of medbestemmelse, or co-determination. Major operational changes must, by law, involve consultation with a Tillitsvalgt, or union representative, and a verneombud, safety representative. When a foreign manager dictates a change without this mandated anchoring, the unions do not just complain, they formally halt the initiative. A minor restructuring that would take 3 days to implement in New York suddenly becomes a 6-month legal battle involving local media leaks, strikes, and a total loss of executive credibility. The leader you hire to be agile is now drowning in bureaucratic gridlock. At NLS Norway Relocation Group, we help strategic HR departments eliminate this friction through executive decision localization. You cannot simply hand a foreign leader a Norwegian organizational chart and expect them to understand the unwritten rules of Forankring. We provide critical pre-arrival coaching for global executives, retraining them on the Norwegian timeline of execution. We teach them the strategic value of the kaffeprat, how to map the informal influencer networks within their new department, and how to proactively engage the Tillitsvalgt as a strategic partner rather than viewing them as an adversary. We transition your leaders from dictatorial decision makers into consensus-building facilitators. If you want your multi-million kroner global talent to actually implement their strategic vision, you must teach them how to anchor their ideas in the Norwegian soil. Please visit our website at nlsnorwayrelocation.no, nlsnorwayrelocation.no, to learn how our advanced corporate coaching solutions can protect your executives' investments from consensus paralysis and ensure rapid, sustainable execution in the Norwegian market. We look forward to partnering with you.